Have you ever stopped to think about the power that silence holds for a woman? That moment when you strategically remain quiet and suddenly realize that this generates much more interest than 1,000 words? Silence can be your most powerful tool in the art of attraction. When you master this skill, something interesting happens. People begin to perceive you differently, especially women. They feel a natural curiosity towards men who know how to use silence to their advantage. Today, I will show you exactly how to use this technique to become more attractive and intriguing, creating deeper and more genuine connections. And the best part, you will discover that sometimes less is so much more. The psychology of desire is a fascinating territory that transcends simple physical attraction. Desire is born from expectation, curiosity, and the feeling of incompleteness that drives us toward the unknown. When we specifically talk about human connections, this phenomenon becomes even more complex and intriguing. For women, desire is not limited to superficial aspects. It is a rich universe of emotions, expectations, and subtle interpretations. The true essence of desire lies in the ability to create a field of intellectual and emotional energy that awakens curiosity and genuine interest. Imagine desire as an invisible dance between two people, where each movement, each pause, each glance carries profound meanings. It's not about being the most handsome or the most talkative, but about being able to awaken that sense of mystery and possibility. Emotional intelligence becomes fundamental in this context. A man who understands the complexity of female desire does not attempt to control or manipulate, but rather creates an environment of authentic connection. He understands that true attraction lies in the ability to generate interest without appearing desperate. Female desire is fueled by the narrative you build, not just with words, but with attitudes, postures, and life choices. Women are naturally drawn to individuals who demonstrate purpose, inner security, and the ability to create moments of meaningful connection. When you understand that desire is more of an emotional experience than a physical one, you transform your approach to relationships. You stop being merely a suitor and become someone genuinely interesting, capable of provoking reflections and awakening deeper emotions. The key is understanding that each woman has her own complexity, her own universe of desires and expectations. There is no universal formula, but rather the capacity to be authentic, present, and genuinely interested in the other person. Developing this understanding requires self-awareness, sensitivity, and the courage to step outside traditional patterns of approach. It is about creating a connection that goes beyond the obvious, awakening curiosity, and generating a feeling of possibility and potential. Characterizing the attractive man transcends the superficiality of a flawless physical appearance or a standardized list of attributes. True attraction arises from a complex combination of inner characteristics that overflow with authenticity and security. A truly attractive man possesses a distinct energy. He does not need to prove anything to anyone because he is already deeply connected to himself. His self-confidence does not stem from an inflated ego, but from a profound understanding of his values, limits, and potential. The communication of this individual is marked by an intense and conscious presence. He knows that silence does not represent absence, but a sophisticated form of communication. Each pause, each look, each moment of quiet is imbued with emotional density that awakens curiosity and interest. Emotional connection becomes his main tool of seduction. It is not about manipulating feelings, but creating genuine spaces of mutual understanding. An attractive man can listen beyond words, capturing emotional nuances that go unnoticed by most. His life does not revolve around conquering women, but building a meaningful existence. Personal projects, passions, well-defined goals make him naturally interesting. He does not rely on external validation to feel complete. His fulfillment comes from within. Controlled vulnerability also composes this profile. He does not fear showing his emotions, but knows how to dose them strategically. He understands that revealing aspects of his humanity does not weaken him. On the contrary, it makes him more complex and attractive. Emotional intelligence is his greatest differential. He navigates between sensitivity and strength without needing to adopt artificial performances of masculinity. His security allows him to be simultaneously gentle and assertive, soft and determined. True attraction lies in the ability to generate interest without appearing desperate. He provokes curiosity not through manipulative techniques, but through the genuine quality of his presence. His life is a constant invitation to discovery, a territory of possibilities that naturally awakens the other's interest. Silence as a strategy of attraction demands a deep and intentional understanding of its nuances. It is not a simplistic resource, but a sophisticated communication tool that requires emotional mastery. Allowing silence intentionally means creating spaces of expectation and curiosity. When you interrupt the constant flow of words, you provoke a different dynamic in the interaction. The woman is invited to fill the empty spaces with her imagination, awakening an almost magnetic interest. Being an active listener means much more than simply being quiet. It is about being truly present, capturing not just the words, but the emotional subtext. Your gaze, your body language, and your breathing convey an energy of deep connection without the need for constant verbalization. Silence functions as an accurate emotional thermometer. It allows you to gauge the intensity of feelings, create moments of strategic tension, and provoke reflections. A well-timed pause can be more impactful than any elaborated speech. It generates an energetic field of mystery that naturally awakens feminine curiosity. Mastering this technique requires self-awareness and emotional control. It does not mean being cold or distant, but rather balanced and strategic. Each silence should be calculated, not as manipulation, but as an authentic expression of your inner security. The art lies in creating pauses that provoke interest without seeming like forced tricks. When used subtly, silence communicates security, emotional depth, and sophisticated relational intelligence. You become seen not as someone who needs to fill every space with words, but as a complex and interesting individual. Women are naturally drawn to men who can generate curiosity without showing anxiety. Well-applied silence works as a subtle invitation, an elegant provocation that awakens the desire to know more. It is not about creating distance, but rather establishing a deeper and more meaningful connection. It is essential to emphasize that this strategy does not function as a universal technique, but rather as an authentic expression of your personality. The key lies in naturalness, the ability to be truly yourself, using silence as an extension of your emotional communication. A life with authentic purposes transforms into the true fuel for attraction. We are not talking about following a standardized playbook or creating an artificial persona, but about building a genuinely meaningful existence that naturally awakens interest. Developing a fulfilling life means engaging in projects that resonate with your essence. Your professional choices, hobbies, and personal investments create a narrative that goes far beyond simple, superficial achievements. When you are truly committed to your growth, people perceive that vibrant and transformative energy. The secret lies in intentionality. It is not enough to just do things, but to do them with passion and a defined purpose. A career that challenges you, a hobby that fulfills you, personal projects that expand your horizons, all contribute to creating an extremely attractive and differentiated profile. Your occupation becomes a magnetic element. The more you invest in yourself, the more people feel your absence and desire your presence. It is as if your life transforms into a territory of fascinating possibilities, where each choice represents a layer of interest and mystery. Incorporating meaningful activities does not mean being perfect, but being authentic. Your imperfections, when integrated with purpose, become part of your personal narrative. Conscious vulnerability and a commitment to personal growth are elements that elevate your attractiveness to sophisticated levels. The feminine universe is deeply sensitive to this energy. Women are naturally attracted to men who demonstrate clarity about their goals and commitment to their personal development. It is not about impressing, but inspiring through your choices and trajectory. Each area of your life becomes a laboratory for growth. Relationships, career, physical and emotional health, intellectual development, everything connects to create a truly interesting individual. Your journey transforms into the greatest element of attraction, far beyond any technique or artificial strategy. Therefore, the invitation is simple. Build a life so interesting that people want to be a part of it, not as an external spectacle, but as a genuine expression of your unique potential and your deepest ambitions. The allure of mystery transcends the simple idea of hiding information. It represents a sophisticated art of communication that awakens feminine curiosity through strategic subtleties. When a man masters this technique, he transforms into a fascinating enigma that naturally attracts interest. Communicating with short and intriguing responses does not mean being terse or aloof. It means creating a territory where each word carries weight and each silence provokes reflection. The woman is then invited to uncover layers of his personality, building a process of progressive and engaging discovery. Curiosity serves as emotional fuel in this process. It feeds the desire to know more, to explore the unrevealed spaces. A man who understands this dynamic does not need to perform grand acts to gain attention. His presence becomes sufficiently magnetic to awaken genuine interest. Authenticity remains a fundamental value in this strategy. Mystery cannot be an artificial mask, but a natural expression of your essence. It means revealing yourself gradually, allowing the other to build perceptions without feeling manipulated or controlled. The art lies in balancing revelation and reserve, showing interesting fragments of your personality without fully laying bare your story. Each detail shared should function as an invitation to curiosity, provoking the desire to know more. Women are naturally attracted to individuals who can generate positive restlessness, not that disturbing anxiety, but a state of genuine interest that stimulates them to better understand the universe of that man. Developing this aspect requires deep self-knowledge. It means understanding your own emotional limits, your personal boundaries, and the ability to remain interesting without appearing inaccessible or too distant. True mystery does not lie in creating artificial barriers, but in being sufficiently complex and interesting to provoke a truly engaging and meaningful connection. The journey toward self-confidence is not a straight line, but a path of discoveries and internal transformations. It begins with a deep acceptance of who you are, recognizing your qualities and imperfections as integral parts of your unique essence. Each scar, each lived experience, whether of success or apparent failure, are foundational elements in the construction of your identity. Connection with your emotions represents a delicate and powerful territory. Learning to navigate your feelings without judgment, understanding your triggers and emotional patterns becomes an essential skill. An emotionally intelligent man does not seek to control his emotions, but to understand them, allowing them to flow naturally and healthily. Vulnerability emerges as an ally in this process of personal evolution. It is not about exposing weaknesses, but demonstrating the courage to acknowledge your limits and points of growth. This willingness to engage in self-knowledge naturally attracts people, as it reveals a rare emotional depth in today's world. Developing self-confidence means unlearning toxic patterns of self-sabotage. Years of social conditioning, family expectations, and comparisons need to be deconstructed. The real work begins when you decide to look within, unafraid to confront your internal shadows. Self-care rituals gain fundamental importance on this journey. Investing in your mental health, practicing meditation, seeking therapy, reading personal development books, all contribute to expanding your understanding of yourself. It is not about perfection, but about continuous growth. Self-confidence manifests subtly in the small decisions of everyday life, in the way you communicate, how you handle challenges, how you establish healthy boundaries in relationships. It is not a destination, but a process of constant refinement of your essence. Men who cultivate this journey of self-knowledge become naturally magnetic, not by imposing an external image, but through the authenticity of their presence. Their security does not need to be verbalized. It simply overflows in every gesture, every look, every choice. Personal transformation is a permanent invitation to expand one's own limits. Every step gained in self-confidence represents an additional layer of emotional freedom, a deeper connection with oneself, and consequently, with the world around. Success stories with silence reveal transformative narratives that go far beyond mere conquest techniques. They are compelling accounts of men who discovered the transformative power of deeper and more intentional communication. João, a shy engineer, shared how strategic silence completely changed his love life. Previously, he tried to impress with long monologues and artificial displays of knowledge, After he learned to create interesting pauses and listen attentively, he noticed that women began to seek him out naturally, attracted by his secure and mysterious presence. Another impressive case is Carlos, a university professor who always felt out of place in social interactions. Upon realizing that silence did not represent weakness, but a sophisticated form of communication, he began to use moments of stillness as powerful tools for emotional connection. These men discovered something fundamental. Silence is not absence, but a presence loaded with meanings. Each strategic pause acts as an invitation to curiosity, creating an energetic field of interest that is almost magnetic. Transformations do not only happen in the romantic field. Professionally, these individuals began to be seen as more secure, reflective, and emotionally intelligent. Their relationships became deeper and more authentic, based on genuine connections rather than artificial performances. Stories like these demonstrate that mastering the art of silence goes far beyond seduction techniques. It represents a journey of self-knowledge, where each man learns to value his essence, emotions, and his ability to create meaningful connections. The women in these narratives are not mere spectators, but active participants in a more sophisticated relational dance. They feel genuinely seen, understood, invited to explore a universe beyond superficial words. The impact of these transformations resonates across all spheres of life. Relationships become deeper, communication gains nuances of sensitivity, and self-confidence flourishes naturally. Silence ceases to be a void and transforms into a rich space of possibilities and genuine connections. Each story reinforces a fundamental principle. True attraction is born from authenticity, from the capacity to be present, and from creating moments of connection that go far beyond the verbal. Strategically utilized silence does not represent an isolated technique, but an invitation to personal and relational transformation. Its essence transcends traditional communication methods, becoming a powerful tool for genuine connection. By incorporating this practice, you recontextualize your interaction, creating spaces of curiosity and authentic interest. Women begin to perceive a depth beyond words, attracted by the security and mystery that emanate from this approach. True attraction lies in the ability to generate expectations without manipulation, allowing each encounter to transform into a unique and engaging experience.